Let's turn to business news now with Nona Peltier. Nona, the market was a bit surprised today by a takeover bid for Hellebys.
Yeah, so Hellebys is a sort of a diversified investment company that has had over the years a number of different kinds of operating units. And this particular company, it's called Bapcor. Australia. It's a car parts company, and they're looking to get a hold into the New Zealand market. And Helleby has quite a nice big piece of business there that's in that very area of business. So auto parts, not my kind of thing. I don't have a car, but lots of people do, and this is a way for them to come into the market. They're going to sell other parts of Hellebys if they're successful with their takeover offer. They've already got 30% of shareholders interested in selling. They are offered a 9% premium to today's the last traded price at $3.30, which is a pretty good price for Helleby. And they're going to sell off other parts of the business that they don't want, and that includes the shoes, Hannah's and Number One.
I had no idea Hellebys had diversified to such a great extent.
Yeah, they really have. Weren't they like a small goods?
Yeah, they were a meat company when I was
company,
a lad.
deli items and so on. Yeah, I know they've really changed. Anyway, so that's one thing. And then on the other side of the market today was a company called Intuary, which is an education group. It has vocational training organizations, all kinds in New Zealand and in Australia. And on Friday, they were put in a trading halt pending what actually turned out to be an audit review by the authority, the registration authority in Australia. And they have threatened to deregister that company's training organizations there, or lesser sanctions. But either way, the company came out today ahead of, just before the market opened and the shares started trading, asking their shareholders to hold tight for a few weeks while it prepares its response.
How did that go?
Not very well. Not very well.
Yeah.
They lost 90% of the value of the company.
In a day.
90. And they finished up a little bit better, just losing 80% of the value. And over the last 2.5 years since they listed in the New Zealand and Australian stock markets, they've lost, they originally were around $263 million company. Today they were about less than $8 million, $6 million.
Goodness gracious, that is a catastrophe for shareholders.
Shocking, terrible thing if you're a small shareholder. The larger shareholders are just going to hang tight because it's really just a small part of their portfolio. But we did see some pretty, some companies, some people just sold for sure. And so what's going to happen, who knows? The company's hoping that they can continue operating as a going concern. They say they have the support of their bank. We'll just have to wait and see on that one. And so how did the market end? Well, It was an interesting afternoon, wasn't it? The Clinton-Trump debate.
Just before you go on, we should say it's an interesting afternoon because the markets, by and large, global markets, Asian markets, Australasian markets, European markets, don't like Donald Trump.
No, they really don't.
And he didn't have a great debate. He had an okay one,
that's
but
right.
The consensus is Clinton was better. So what did the markets do?
Well, apparently they now, I didn't know this until today, but the market has this thing called the Trumpometer. Which is basically they watched the peso moving against the U.S. dollar, and the peso jumped like a great big Mexican jumping bean. As a result, they say, nah, if you want to know what happens, don't worry about Twitter and social media. Just look at the peso. And so, in the end, the markets in Asia, had a better tone for sure. The Japanese yen did much better, and the Australian bookies, I didn't check out the UK ones, I'm sorry, but they've narrowed the odds that Clinton will win. So the NZ Top 50 index, it ended down just a touch, 12 points to 7,253. Our dollar was trading at 72.9 US cents, 95.1 Australian, and 56.2 British pounds.
Nona Peltier, thank you very much indeed.